So 50 Cent just can't stop talking about Jay-Z and Diddy. And honestly, at this point, it's become one of the longest running grudge matches in hip-hop history. We're talking almost 20 years of shots fired, Instagram posts deleted, and accusations that would make your jaw drop. But here's the thing most people don't realize. This whole situation goes way deeper than internet trolling. 50 has been warning us about Diddy since 2006. And now that Diddy's sitting in federal prison for the next 4 years, Fifth is basically doing a victory lap while simultaneously throwing Jay-Z under the bus. Let me break down everything that's happened, because this story involves ghostwriting scandals, alleged murder cover-ups, a Super Bowl conspiracy, and a Netflix documentary that... All right, let's rewind to where this all started. Back in 2001, 50 Cent was in a rough spot. He'd been shot 9 times and dropped from Columbia Records. To make ends meet, he was doing ghostwriting work behind the scenes. And according to 50, one of those ghostwriting jobs was for Diddy. In a 2022 interview on The Breakfast Club, 50 claimed he wrote Diddy's verse on G Dep's track Let's Get It. He even referenced this back in 2003 on his song You Not Like Me, where he raps about how women are all over him like they heard he ghostwrites for P. Diddy. But here's where it gets interesting. In October 2024, 50 went back on The Breakfast Club and dropped an even bigger bombshell. Charlemagne played that Diddy verse where Puff raps the line about sending the cops, the DA, and the feds to come get him. 50 just laughed and said he didn't tell Diddy to say that particular line. Then Charlemagne played another track, the I Get Money remix from 2007, where Diddy literally raps about shootouts, coastal beefs, and how his lawyer is so good he got acquitted. 50's response? He said Jay-Z helped him write that part. According to Fifth, Jay wrote those specific bars about the shootouts and the coastal beefs because 50 wasn't around for the whole East Coast-West Coast situation. Now think about that for a second. 50 Cent is claiming that he and Jay-Z collaborated to write lyrics for Diddy that now sound like confessions, given everything that's happened. For a while after those ghostwriting sessions, things between 50 and Diddy seemed relatively calm. Diddy even presented 50 with the Best Rap Video Award at the 2003 MTV VMAs. They were photographed together. They appeared at the same events. You'd think they were cool. But in 2006, everything changed. 50 dropped a diss track called The Bomb, and he went straight for the jugular. In the song, he accused Diddy of knowing who killed Notorious B.I.G. back in 1997. The actual lyrics were wild. He raps about how Puffy knows who killed Biggie and says the guy is soft and scared of what might happen if that information got out. Diddy denied everything. He's always denied having any involvement or knowledge of Biggie's murder. He called those allegations nonsense in a 2016 interview on The Breakfast Club. But 50 wasn't done. He's also publicly stated he believes Diddy was connected to Tupac's murder in 1996. And when Keith D got arrested in 2023 for allegedly being involved in Tupac's killing, 50 immediately started posting about it, suggesting Diddy was somehow tied to the whole thing. Now here's where 50 explains why he's always been so suspicious of Diddy. In a July 2024 cover story for The Hollywood Reporter, he revealed a specific moment that made him uncomfortable. He said Diddy approached him at Chris Lighty's wedding years ago and offered to take him shopping. 50 described it as the weirdest thing, because that's something a man says to a woman. He said his immediate thought was to get away from him before he did something that would mess up the wedding. In a later interview on Andrew Schultz's podcast, 50 put it even more bluntly. He said Diddy wasn't in the closet, he was in the hallway, making a comment about Diddy's sexuality. But according to 50, people let it slide because it was Puff. That was just how things were back then. 50 claims he's always avoided Diddy's famous parties. He's been vocal about not attending those events because of what he described as uncomfortable energy connected to them. When Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit against Diddy in November 2023, accusing him of rape, sexual assault, and human trafficking, 50 went into overdrive. Even though that case settled within 24 hours, Fifth was posting memes and commentary constantly. Then, in March 2024, federal agents raided Diddy's mansions in Los Angeles and Miami. 50 immediately posted on social media saying, "It's not Diddy did it anymore, it's Diddy done." He said they don't come like when the federal indictment revealed that agents allegedly seized over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant from Diddy's properties. 50 posted a photo of himself with Drew Barrymore and wrote that he's keeping good company and doesn't have 1,000 bottles of lube at his house. After CNN released that disturbing surveillance video showing Diddy physically assaulting Cassie in a hotel hallway back in 2016, 50 sarcastically posted that it couldn't possibly be Diddy because he's innocent. The trolling was relentless. Diddy was arrested in September 2024 on federal charges, including racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He pleaded not. The trial lasted about 8 weeks. In July 2025, the jury came back with a split verdict. They acquitted Diddy on the most serious charges, the racketeering and sex trafficking counts, but they found him guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution involving Cassie Ventura and another woman who testified as Jane. On October 3, 2025, Diddy was sentenced to 50 months in prison. That's just over 4 years, plus a $500,000 fine and 5 years of supervised release. He's currently serving his sentence at Fort Dix in New Jersey. And 50 Cent? He posted immediately after the verdict, using a homophobic slur to mock Diddy and comparing him to a mob boss who finally got caught. He called him the gay John Gotti. But the trolling was just the appetizer. The main course is 50's Netflix documentary. He announced it back in late 2023, and after a massive bidding war, Netflix secured the rights in 2024. The 4-part series is called Sean Combs' The Reckoning, and it drops December 2nd, like in 4 days. According to the official description, the documentary promises never-before-seen materials and exclusive interviews with people who were in Diddy's orbit. It's being directed by Emmy winner Alexandria Stapleton, and 50 is executive producing through his company G Unit Film and Television. 50 had originally wanted to call it Diddy Do It, but apparently that changed. He's been posting about it constantly, saying people told him he was lying about everything. The timing is kind of remarkable. This documentary is dropping less than 2 months after Diddy received his sentence. 50 has essentially been working on this project for 2 years, and now it's arriving right when public interest is at its peak. But here's where things get really interesting, because 50 hasn't just been going after Diddy. He's been dragging Jay-Z into this mess repeatedly. Back in May 2024, 50 posted an unflattering close-up photo of Jay-Z's face on Instagram with a caption saying Jay is in hibernation and won't come outside until the whole situation with Puff blows over. No brunch, no lunch, no dinner. When Roc Nation canceled their annual pre-Grammy brunch in 2024, an event that Diddy typically attended, 50 used that as more ammunition to suggest Jay was hiding. Then in December 2024, things escalated dramatically. A woman filed a civil lawsuit accusing both Diddy and Jay-Z of raping her when she was 13 years old at a party following the 2000 MTV Video Music Awards. Both men denied the allegations completely. Jay-Z released an impassioned statement calling it a blackmail attempt and saying his heartbreak was for his family. He mentioned having to explain the situation to his children. 50's response? The same day, Jay-Z attended the premiere of Mufasa, The Lion King with Beyoncé and Blue Ivy. 50 posted that Jay heard about the allegations and said, "Everybody get dressed. We're going to see Mufasa." He also questioned whether the Super Bowl halftime show would still happen since Jay-Z's Roc Nation produces it and Kendrick Lamar was scheduled to perform. He claimed he was just asking for a friend, meaning Kendrick. By the way, 50 has a whole separate beef with Jay-Z that goes back decades. In 1999, 50 mentioned Jay in his track How to Rob, suggesting he'd rob him because he'd just sold 4 million records. Jay responded on It's Hot, asking what 50 Cent even means compared to his dollar. But the real tension, according to 50, is about business. In his Hollywood Reporter interview, 50 claimed that Jay-Z's Roc Nation tried to block him from performing at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show with Dr. Dre, Eminem, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, and Mary J. Blige. According to 50, Eminem refused to perform without him. He said Roc Nation wanted to leave him out entirely, but M wouldn't do the show if 50 wasn't there, so they had no choice but to include him as a surprise guest. That's why he wasn't on the promotional materials or mentioned in the announcements. 50 said it feels weird when the competition goes past music and someone tries to block. On Andrew Schultz's podcast, 50 added more details. He said Jay-Z was apparently telling Eminem that the NFL had the problem with 50, not Rock Nation. But 50 claims he knew that wasn't true. Now for the update on that lawsuit against Jay-Z. In February 2025, the case was dismissed with prejudice, meaning it can't be refiled. Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, released a statement saying Jay pushed back, never settled, never paid a single penny, and cleared his name. Jay-Z called it a victory and said he'd been determined to fight because innocent people should not be intimidated into settling. But 50 hasn't stopped. Just this month, in May 2025, he posted another video montage of Diddy and Jay-Z together with Bill Withers, just the two of us playing in the background. The caption asked if Jay was still there. When Cassie testified at Diddy's trial about allegedly being forced into an inflatable pool filled with baby oil, 50 posted about that too. Then the next day, he threw Jay-Z into another post asking if they were friends until the end. So what's really driving all this? 50 addressed it in his Hollywood Reporter interview. He said his issues with Diddy and Jay-Z are fundamentally about feeling like they've tried to block his opportunities and careers. With Diddy, it's personal discomfort plus the allegations. With Jay-Z, it seems to be professional competition that went beyond just music. He also mentioned something about his ex-girlfriend Daphne Joy, who is the mother of his son Sire. When she was named as one of Diddy's alleged associates in Lil Rod's lawsuit against Diddy, 50 posted about that too, calling her a sex worker who started receiving money from Diddy. 50 has said he's been saying this stuff about Diddy for 10 years and people called him crazy. Now he's framing himself as vindicated. The documentary will apparently include testimony from former Bad Boy Records artists, employees, and people close to Diddy over the years. Bad Boy artist Mark Curry is featured in the trailer saying, "You can't continue to hurt people and have nothing happen. It's just a matter of time." So here's where we stand. Diddy is serving his sentence in federal prison until at least 2028. Jay-Z successfully fought off a lawsuit but keeps getting pulled into 50's social media campaign. And 50 Cent has positioned himself as the voice of accountability in hip-hop with a major Netflix documentary about to drop. Whether you think 50 is performing a public service or just enjoying the chaos, one thing is clear. This story isn't over. There are still dozens of civil lawsuits pending against Diddy. 50's documentary might reveal new information. And Jay-Z keeps finding himself mentioned every time 50 posts about his former rival. The question now is whether the documentary will actually deliver the explosive content 50 has been promising, or if it's just more fuel for one of hip-hop's longest and pettiest feuds. What do you think? Is 50 Cent vindicated after years of warning people about Diddy? Or is he just capitalizing on someone else's downfall? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want to stay updated on everything that happens when that documentary drops December 2nd, make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you in the next one.